I'm still sick today. I'm feeling like a little bit better, but not heaps. I was supposed to go and film the podcast with Joe today and get work done, but I don't have I don't feel well enough to drive, let alone well enough to actually do an hour-long show. So I've pushed that out to next week, and I've taken today off again for myself. And I think I'm going to have to take tomorrow off as well, but we'll see how it goes. But in other news, today I actually do have something to share with you. Today is the 1-year anniversary of my grandfather's death, which I've never really been a person to do things based on dates, holidays, birthdays, things like that. Have never been super important to me, but they're important to my family, and so it's been coming up quite a lot today, kind of talking about my grandfather, who was the figurehead of our family. And I think I've already made a movie about him really early in the days of the vlog. I will link that up here. But I thought that I would take this opportunity to explain one of my tattoos, which is actually a memorial piece for him. And it's this tattoo here. Let me get a good shot of it. It's this one, starting here and coming around the side here. So I've got the Gruffalo, got a line, and then the mouse from the Gruffalo. So let me tell you the story. Basically, the abridged version of my grandfather's passing away is that he had cancer spread through his whole body. In the Netherlands, you can do assisted death, which is essentially like you get put in an induced coma, and they kind of let your heart function stop. And while he was like in his final stages of being terminally ill, we emailed back and forth and we called quite a bit, and I just asked him all the questions for things that I wanted to know more about. And one of the things that I asked him, I think it was actually the first question that I asked him, was, what is your favorite memory of us? And he said that his favorite memory of us was when we were up in one of the mountains near where I live. And when I was a kid, my favorite book that he would read me was The Gruffalo. And we were up in these mountains, and he was pretending that we were on a Gruffalo hunt. So every little rustle in the bushes that we'd hear, or every little like movement in the trees, he'd be like, "Oh, it's a Gruffalo! Like, we got to be careful. We got to go for a hunt." Blah blah blah. And I was with my parents and my grandparents at the time, and I kept pushing my mum in front of me, being like, "Mummy, you go first. Mummy, you go first." And then he like disappears off into the bushes, and we're like walking through, and we hear all the rustling in the bushes, moving around and stuff, and then out of nowhere he like jumps out of the bushes and roars, and I piss my little pants. I was so scared. But he told me before he died that was his favorite memory. It was that moment of us in the forest pretending to hunt for Gruffalos, and me getting really scared by him pretending to be a Gruffalo. And so going back to him actually passing away, he got put into an induced coma, and I was in a position where my phone was dead, so I didn't actually know that he was being put into that coma. So I woke up the next morning with like 40 missed calls once I'd charged my phone, and he didn't get the chance to say goodbye to me, which I was obviously incredibly distraught by. I was so close to this man. He was like the guy, and like he was the guy, the dude. I'm the dude, man. I don't know. I feel like you either have that relationship with a grandparent or you don't. But yeah, so I was distraught during the day, and then at like 5 o'clock that night, I get a phone call from my grandpa, and I was like, "What the hell? How am I getting a phone call from him? He's supposed to be like in a coma." And so I pick up the phone, and it's him, and he's woken himself up out of his coma, to talk to me before he dies, because he knows that this is going to be his last opportunity to do so. And we talk for 5 minutes, and kind of just like general back and forth goodbyes. And then it's kind of getting to the point where he's losing energy, so he needs to hang up. And so we say our final goodbyes, and the last thing that he ever said to me was, "I love you, I'll see you on the other side of the line." And then he hung up, and then that night he passed away. And then that week I made my tattoo appointment with Mimi from Valley Ink here in Brisbane. who is incredible. She also did this tattoo on my forearm, which I will also link for you to go check out. She's done every tattoo on my right arm. That's all Mimi's work. And I called her and I designed this tattoo myself. I sent the design through to her and she said, yep, absolutely, I can do that for you. And we got it tattooed. So basically, to explain it to you simply, that's my grandpa, there's the line, and that's me. I'll see you on the other side of the line. Because when I die, that's going to get merged and we'll be together on the other side of the line. So that's it. I just wanted to share that with you. I feel like the way that the vlog normally goes, I don't really get the opportunity to be real with you in this way. And I feel like I'm tired enough today that the genuine emotion comes through. So I feel like it was a good time to tell you that story. At some point I will probably do a full tattoo tour, maybe once I have a couple more. I feel like I have 7 now. I feel like that's not quite enough to pad out a full tattoo tour video. But anyway, you have insight into one of them now. So hopefully that's enough. I'm going to go back to watching TV and playing video games. I really, really hope that I feel better tomorrow. That's it. I will see you tomorrow.